Hi, everybody. I hope all is well.
Happy Friday.
Why don't we jump into it with some questions?
The first one is, can you and Mrs. Aracey make the due dates by Saturdays instead of Fridays? Because all of the assignments in the week, I feel like it's great if you guys give us an extra day for it.
So, after the thematic units are done next week, we are going to go to a school wide system where we'll assign work on a certain day and it'll be due on a certain day. So, more information about that will be coming down the line.
Are we still going to have finals?
Not in the traditional sense.
Is it okay to not complete every assignment?
Yes, we know there's a lot going on right now. We know you might not always have internet access. Just do your best. Do the most recent stuff. Don't worry about getting caught up on every single thing. Just do what you can, and we'll grade what we get from you.
Will we be able to go to regular school next year?
I hope so. They've talked about a couple different models for it. Some involve us wearing gloves and masks. Some involve kind of two separate shifts of classes in the morning and classes in the afternoon. Some involve eating lunch in the classroom, which some of you do anyway, but everybody eating lunch in the classroom. But I don't want to make any promises either, so we'll stay tuned for what happens.
You know as much as we do. When we come back to school, are we going to have to do MCAS?
Yeah, well, not all of you, but most of you are going to be in 10th grade next year, and all 10th graders have to pass MCAS to graduate.
Hi, Mister. I have a brother who has autism. He's supposed to graduate this year. Last year he did not have a date for his prom, but this year he does. Are they going to cancel prom or not?
So there's been some talk about having one in the summer or like early fall or something like that. That was the latest we heard at the faculty meeting, but we also don't know. I think it depends on the guidelines from the city and the state and how the crisis goes. So right now there's no date. The original date, as you know and your brother knows, was canceled, but we'll see what happens with some sort of replacement.
Which do you think will be in the district-wide history curriculum first, the Boston Marathon bombings or COVID-19 pandemic?
I think the COVID-19 pandemic, just because it's impacted so many people, not to say the Boston Marathon bombing didn't, but the COVID-19 pandemic has killed more Americans than the Vietnam War or the war in Vietnam at this point. So I think it's going to be an event that is going to be a landmark in history.
Globally.
Globally, yeah, not just here in the US.
What is your favorite thing to do during quarantine and why?
Just try and reach out to friends and family. I'm a very social person. I love talking to people, and it's hard for me just being here alone, the two of us. So, writing letters, having game nights via Zoom, all that kind of stuff, just trying to keep in contact so we all know that we're not alone.
What movies or books are overrated?
It's a good question. I never really got into Percy Jackson, which I know a lot of you all like. Um, Riverdale's a show, but I have watched it a few times with Mrs. Aracey, and I didn't love it. Yeah.
What is the best spider objectively? None of them.
Any that help us with pest control. There's the trapdoor spiders, but we should probably try and avoid venom.
What are your favorite colors?
Mine is like a dark green, like an evergreen type of color.
Favorite bands?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like Modest Mouse. I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band. A lot of the musicians I like are singers and not necessarily bands, but in terms of bands, I really like those three.
What is your favorite fast food chain?
Probably Wendy's.
What is your favorite piece of clothing and why? LOL.
It's a good question. I just got for my birthday, it was my birthday yesterday, and I got a UMass sweatshirt from my parents last weekend that's really comfortable that I've been wearing pretty much all the time. And then for Christmas, I got an orange fleece from Mrs. Arcee that I wear all the time as well.
Have you ever been to Disney World? If so, what is your favorite park and ride?
Yeah, my grandparents lived in Orlando, so I would go down with my family pretty often during April vacations when I was in school. My favorite ride's a tough one, probably the Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
If you had to choose three Pokemon, any, to battle these three Pokemon I don't know how to say, which Pokemon would you choose and why?
So this one's for Lewis. It's Yveltal, Xerneas, and Zygarde. So I went with Alolan Ninetales, Duraludon, and Nidoking for type matchups.
And that's it.
All right. Well, that's another Question Friday, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.